Hi, this lecture is 6 pages, so my first idea is break it up into 6 little videos, 1 page apiece. So we're starting on page 1, and there's a refresher here of the properties of radicals. That you have, if you have a product of a certain root, it's an expression that you can break up into a product of these, whatever's being multiplied here can be broken up into one thing times the other. For instance, square root of 100, that's the same as square root 4 times 25. And that in turn can be split up into separate square roots. Now we all know that this is equal to 10. What do we have after we do that breakup? That's square root 4, which is 2, and that's square root 25, which is 5, and of course it still comes out 10. But that's just to convince you that this is not something I made up while I was in the shower or something like that. This is a true thing. Here's a cube root that doesn't work very well the way it's started. That's cube root of 5. That's some decimal, and cube root of 25 also would be some exotic decimal. But if we put those together under the same cube root radical and multiply them together, 5 times 25 gives us 125. And then this can be simplified easily because 125 is a perfect cube that is equal to exactly 5. 5 to the third is 125. So once in a while we'll use it in that direction. Mostly we're going to use it in this direction. Show you what I mean right here. Is this radical fully simplified? No, we have an expectation that whatever the index is here, index right now is 3, the simplified radical should have any power of the variable here should be less than whatever the index is. And 20 is certainly not less than 3. So last time it was said that you could just take the power and divide by the index. But now there's a new twist here. 3 doesn't go evenly into 20. So we use that property up here, break this up into cube root of separate powers of y, and we want to make the biggest possible exponent that's divisible by 3. 20 is not divisible by 3. Counting down, 19 is not divisible by 3. 18 is. So make this, or rewrite this, y to the 18th, y to the 2nd. That's equivalent to y to the 20th. And then since 18 is divisible by 3, I can change this to y to the 18 divided by 3 is y to the 6th. And this we're going to keep around in radical form. Okay, now I have an exponent that's less than the index. 2 is less than 3. So this is considered simplified for the original expression, cube root of 20th power of y. Okay, so that's just one starter example. I'm going to do the rest on this page. This is a square root. Square root, of course, there's an invisible 2 there. 2 doesn't go into 7. Counting down, 7, 6, 2 goes into 6. So I'm factoring the square root of x to the 7th into square root x to the 6th square root x. And then this can simplify. This will change to x to the 6th divided by the invisible 2 becomes x to the 3rd. So it's x to the 3rd square root x. Okay. Slide over here. 15 is not divisible by the invisible 2. But we just need to go down 1. See, x to the 14th times x is x to the 15th. And so this becomes x to the 14 divided by the 2 is x to the 7th. And you got to be careful how you write these so that this really looks like an exponent. It doesn't look like maybe it's an index, maybe it's 7th root. No, this is clearly x to the 7th power times square root x. See, I wrote this one. I didn't say anything back here. This is, I hope, clearly y to the 6th power times the cube root of y squared. Make sure you tuck the index into that radical sign so there's no misunderstanding of your work. Okay, here's, if we were in class now, I'd say, all right, I'm going to shut up for a minute and you try this one. But you can pause the video and try this one and then come back. So 5 doesn't go into 12, 5 doesn't go into 11, 5 goes into 10. So I will rewrite this. 5th root of p to the 10th, 5th root of p to the 2nd. See, there's the factored p to the 12th. And this divided by that, we get p squared, 5th root of p squared. P squared, 5th root of p squared. Slide over here. 4 doesn't go into 19. Let me set the stage. I'm trying so hard to be neat. What powers of p will we use? 4 doesn't go into 19, 4 doesn't go into 18, 17, 16. 16, we have a winner. P to the 16th, p to the 3rd. See, there's the factored p to the 19th. Now this becomes p to the 16 divided by 4 is 4. And then it's a lot of 4s floating around here. 4th root of p to the 3rd. There's the simplified version for this. Okay. Now with 2 variables, just treat each variable independently. You know, you can do a lot of rewriting if you want, and I will since I'm demonstrating this. 3 does go into 9, so I'm just going to write this again over here. Cube root of m to the 9th. 3 doesn't go into 10, so I'm going to need to factor that term, the n. Take the n to the 10th and rewrite it as n to the 9 times n to the 1st. And now this is going to clean up, and so is this, and we're going to be stuck with that. So this is cube root of m to the 9th is m to the 9 divided by 3 is 3. Same thing here, n to the 9th power, cube root will be n to the 9 divided by 3 is 3. And what we still have as a radical is just cube root of n. Okay. I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to stop the camera, go wash my hands, and come back and do a second video for the second page. 4 doesn't go into 7 or 19. So we do split up everything here, huh? I'm going off out of range. So I'm doing this with my iPhone, by the way. Hopefully nobody tries to call me in the middle. So w to the 7, 6, 5, 4. I got to go down to 4. W to the 4th, w to the 3rd. That's the biggest power of w we can get. That's divisible by 4. And 19, 18, 17, 16. H to the 16, h to the 3rd. Okay, double check that I didn't do bad arithmetic. That's w to the 7th. That's h to the 19th. Okay, so this is going to change. This is going to change. That's what we're going to still have under the radical sign when we're done. So this becomes w to the 4 divided by 4 is 1. So just a plain old w. H to the 16 divided by 4 is 4. And then what's still under this 4th root radical? W to the 3rd, h to the 3rd. So there's my finished answer. W, h to the fourth, fourth root, W to the third, h to the third. Okay, going to take a break and come back and do page 2 in just a minute.